Hey everyone, just a quick message before this video starts. I do always have subtitles available. I do write the subtitles for most of my videos, so I would advise turning those on here because I do slur my words and mumble a little bit in this video. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Please enjoy the video. See you later, guys. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be about Samurai Shodown and its DLC plans for the next few months and beyond. Originally, I wanted to make this video a breakdown of each of the characters shown in the DLC trailer. However, there's not enough to break down about how they may play from this, as their movesets aren't really shown at all. Firstly, let's talk about Rimururu, the first and only DLC character available to us. So I have a lot to say about this character. Firstly, I'm pleasantly surprised with this character. She's actually quite fun. I didn't expect to enjoy this character at all, to be honest. She has some very interesting tools in her kit. She really brings a unique style to this game. With her lower damaging strikes and short range normals, Rimururu brings a moveset reminiscent of a zoner to the game. This is supported by the number of projectiles she has access to. She's also able to create some interesting setups of her ice platform and fireball, which are also quite fun. Rimururu is definitely worth picking up if you're looking for a unique character. Mechanically, she's not too difficult, but she also doesn't feel too powerful either. Not a jack of all trades like some characters, but she has a niche and she's fun, so if that's what you want in a character, definitely give her a go. Hisame has been introduced as a free DLC character for all players in September. His fighting style combines his use of a sword and umbrella. The sword appears to be a regular katana. His use of the two weapons has changed from game to game. I'd imagine that because his sword is sheathed, he'll mostly use his umbrella and then use the sword for certain attacks. As the umbrella can open up, I'm sure that this will give his umbrella attacks more coverage. He can throw the umbrella as a projectile which returns to him like a boomerang. He can also use the umbrella to reflect projectiles, which is a good anti-zone tool. His sword can be used to uppercut the opponent as well, so he has a good assortment of special attacks. Hisame does have some close range options, but I imagine his strength will be in controlling space, especially around the middle ground. His normals aren't as far reaching as some other characters, but his special attacks give him some good options to space check the opponent. Hisame's reflect seems like his strongest tool, as it can easily counter zoning and possibly allow for an instant punish if the recovery is long enough, so I think this character looks fairly interesting. Can't wait to try him out. Basara is the DLC character we'll be receiving in October. Allow me to preface this by saying that Basara and the two characters after him will have to be paid for. Hisame is the only free character. Anyway, Basara looks very interesting. Whilst Hisame looks more my style, he doesn't look particularly unique, all things considered. However, Basara's gameplay looks to be much more interesting, although not necessarily my style. Basara wields a shuriken, which he uses a lot for close range melee, as well as a long range weapon. I think Basara will be heavily focused on close range combat, assassin style. Basara also has access to magical abilities and multi-hitting attacks. I feel like Basara will be mostly focused on the close range with some mid-range options by throwing his shuriken. I also think, like Nakaruru, Basara will have a number of special attacks that don't require his weapon, since he seems to use some kind of dark demonic magic. He can teleport, emit illusions of himself and summon an arcing projectile, so whilst I don't think Basara will be my style, I definitely would like to see what he plays like because I do believe it'll be quite fun. Kazuki Kazana is the character we'll be receiving in November. Kazuki also looks very interesting. He utilizes pyrokinesis as well as his ninjutsu to outplay his opponent. He also wields a sheathed ninjato, which he can quickly use with one hand. He can manipulate his fire to create all manner of interesting projectiles. He can also use his ninjutsu defensively to reposition and catch enemy by surprise. He does this by using exploding ninja clones and teleportation. I feel like he's going to be a close range character because the ninjato doesn't have the same reach as many other characters in the game. Despite this, many of his special attacks line to play keep away, such as his good projectile and teleportation abilities, so I think that Kazuki will be a character who can balance offense and defense very well, having the ability to get up close with damaging blade attacks, but then back away and zone if necessary. I think of all the DLC characters so far, Kazuki will be the one who would pique my interest the most. I can't wait to see how he's going to play with his ninjutsu in the game. Last but certainly not least is Wan-Fu, the DLC character arriving in December. The confusing thing about Wan-Fu is what his weapon will be. Wan-Fu has had several weapon changes throughout his time in Samurai Shodown, from using a dowel to a stone pillar to a mace. In the DLC trailer, we see him using a stone pillar during his super move. This could just be to harken back to what he had in his past, but I think that his stone pillar will be the weapon he uses at all times. The reason I think this is because out of all the DLC characters, none of them look to be a heavier, slower character. However, Wan-Fu could perfectly fit this archetype if he were to wield the stone pillar. Also, Samurai Shodown is based entirely around its weapon-based combat, and having as many unique weapons as possible is a must for keeping this game interesting. I really do hope that Wan-Fu wields the stone pillar. If he wields the mace, dao or some other weapon, I will be disappointed. Because the stone pillar is a very binary weapon choice, I think Wan-Fu will definitely introduce a unique gimmick to diversify himself. In past games, Wan-Fu could use his pillar as a projectile, which could disarm him. Additionally, he can bash his head against the weapon, dealing a portion of damage to himself and enraging him. I really want to see something like this implemented into the game, a high risk, high reward gimmick which allows the user to damage themselves for a special attack or boost. So yeah, I'm overall very happy with what's here for the DLC. 5 characters who all appear to offer unique gameplay opportunities. Visually, all of these 5 characters are unique. You can clearly tell what these characters are like and how they might play just by looking at them. My descriptions of these characters have been entirely based on research that I've done on the Samurai Shodown wiki, as well as watching some gameplay of some of the older games. I haven't played any of the older Sam shows. So yeah, I'm very happy with what's on offer here and I can't wait to see how these characters really play. Based on the gameplay I've seen, Kazuki looks like a character who I'll really enjoy as he appears to offer versatile gameplay options. This is the same with Hisame. Wan-Fu is also a character who visually appeals to me, but heavy characters are hit or miss for me. In some cases I really like them and in other cases I really don't like them. I really hope he plays well though. Finally, Basara looks like a bit of fun, but not a long-term character pick for me. As for the future of Samurai Shodown, it's looking very bright. SNK have ridden the hype train right from launch and set themselves a good level of expectations for the rest of 2019 and throughout 2020. We're receiving a new character every month for the rest of this year. A season 2 of content with 4 new characters is confirmed for 2020. I assume that SNK will include fan favourites here to please everyone. Samurai Shodown feels like a game very driven by its community. The community that it currently has is a mix of both veteran and new players such as myself. This is perfect because the game is fun for both of those crowds. I feel that if SNK gives us 4 characters a year, 1 season pass a year, that's not going to be enough. Samurai Shodown has excellent fighting mechanics, beautiful visuals and expressive characters, but that won't carry the game 3 to 4 years into the future if there are no significant content updates. As I said, the fighting mechanics are exceptional, so no overhauls need to happen there. SNK needs to focus on more filler content to give the game more replayability for a casual audience. I think this game could benefit from a customization system similar to Injustice 2, where you can change gear in your character from the arms, legs, torso and headgear. This gear could be earned from an additional mode reminiscent of Mortal Kombat's Living Towers or Injustice's Multiverse, where new challenges are periodically cycled in to challenge players for awards. These are just some basic suggestions. I'm sure SNK can make great progress with this game, and hey, they may not even need to add anything new like this, it's just something to think about. Anyway, I think that's about all for today. To quickly summarise, I'm happy with how Rimururu turned out. She's quite fun and definitely has a unique take on the game. Hisame looks decent. He doesn't look overly unique, but his umbrella gives him access to some interesting attacks. Basara doesn't look like my style, but maybe someone I can have a little bit of fun with, just because of the number of special abilities that he may have. Kazuki looks very much my style, a very versatile character who can shift between offense and defense easily. And finally, Wan-Fu, visually very appealing, but I either love or hate heavy characters, and this differs from game to game, so let's see about that. Guys, I've really enjoyed this video. When the official trailers launch per character, I'll possibly make breakdown videos on those and see how close my predictions were. That sounds like fun. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, it was quite fun to make. I'm very excited about the future of Samurai Shodown. I think this game is going to be great. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.